Hello, everyone. Today I will be talking about the American ibis for my presentation. So the ibis is a little bit more than a mascot, right? So we know it is distributed through North and South America in shallow coastal marshes, mangroves, and wetlands. So it prefers that shallow water there. And they move to the coast during the summer because of all the summer rains that push them out. They are gregarious individuals, so they're super social, really like being in their groups. They're also territorial, so they'll defend their nest, their young, all of that kind of stuff there too. The ibis umvelt and taxus. So the ibis are great because they actually have a bunch of different senses that are kind of listed in table one here. But the most important one is the proprioception. So they actually have an organ in their bill that they use to probe around in a medium, like could be land or water, and they sense for vibrations, for movement. And that's actually an example of taxus. So thigmotaxis is sensing for that kind of movement. So like let's say they come across a prey or they feel it swimming through the water, they're going to have a positive taxis towards it to eat the prey, right? So that's kind of a little bit about its umwelt there. So what would happen if the planet warmed by 5 degrees Celsius? So I chose this one because with the 5 degrees Celsius increase in temperature, we're also going to have an increase in sea level. So it's actually the water depth is going to be 0.9 meter increase here. So what that means, and you can see from the left to the right is where the increase happened. All that light blue around Florida there, that's where it's showing there's going to be more water and it's going to be deeper. So because of that, the ibis being in a shallow water area, that's really going to affect where it's going to be able to hunt. It's going to have to move quickly inland, and you never know what kind of environment is going to come about afterwards. So definitely going to be an adjustment and not going to be very easy for the ibis for this example. So for the question here, I'll be asking, will ibises spend more time probing for food on land or in shallow water? My hypothesis is going to be, if an ibis is probing for food, it will spend more time probing in the water over a given time as to maximize its proprioception ability in a more probe-friendly medium. So that's basically the probe-friendly medium being water, right? It's going to be searching around in that water. This answers question three, or the current utility from Tinbergen's four questions, which deals with the adaptive function of behavior, right? So what is the adaptive advantage of using water and probing in water as opposed to land? Here is my ethogram and sampling model here. We have my feeding behaviors, which are the focus of my question, so the probing and inspecting. And we also have the mechanical behaviors, just, to keep as a group, right? I'll be looking at a group, so I'll be using scan sampling, so specifically instantaneous scan sampling. And I'll be recording my observations so I can revisit them and make them as accurate as possible, because that's always the goal there. Thank you, guys.